All right, and we're live. Let's see. It's saying that there's a problem right here. Can I go through with it? Okay, we got a viewer. My area where the chat is missing. So, just a heads up. If I'm not acknowledging any chat or seeing who's here, I'm not sure why I can't see that at the moment. But today was a lecture planned anyway, so I'm going to be going off just a quick manifesting motivation. Whatever you guys want to write in the chat, maybe I could see it in the playback. If not, when more people come in, if they're asking why I don't see, just let them know I can't see the chat. So I don't know what that is. It's saying something's wrong there. Yeah, let me try something while we wait for more people to come in. I know we got 3 people here right now, but that's all I can see. Customization, participants, anybody, reactions. Hold on, maybe I just missed it. Let me see. Who can send messages? Anyone, yeah. Live chat replay. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to see why I can't see anyone's comments. If I can't figure it out, we're just going to go forward with the lecture anyway, which was, like I said, the original plan. And you guys could just let people know that I can't see it. Automatic chapters, allow content. Because this is going to lead to what I was saying too about everything's working out in your favor, because I get very overstimulated and reacting to the comments and stuff like that. So could be something works out better for me anyway. Comments on. Let me see if I pause them. Pause it. Save that. And now edit the stream again. Details. See if I put the comments back on. 1 second. Customization. If you guys are in the Discord and you see this, you could let me know. Maybe you know how to fix this. Details. Okay, here we go. Put the comments back on. Save. Okay. Well, the comments aren't there. It's probably going to work out in my favor anyway. It is going to work out in my favor because, like I said, I will occasionally get overstimulated on the comments and start replying to those. But what I am going to do, and please pass it along to everyone else, I trust you guys will. I'm going to be going live in Muscular Mystic after this, so hopefully that works on there because that's going to hinge heavily on me taking comments. But like I said, I can't see any of your comments right now. I'll have to look into it. But Muscular Mystic, hopefully when I go live on there after this live, we can see it. We're going to have a cigar, some more coffee, chat there, and go forward. But anyway, we're going to move forward with this lecture right now. And it's a little manifestation, motivation, pep talk, because people like that, and they like when I give the motivation and remind you that anything is possible in life. Now I know there's teachers and coaches out there saying, no, there's limits. Yeah, you're not going to jump off a building and fly or nothing like that. You're not going to defy the laws of physics and stuff like that. Because remember, this is the law of assumption. Whatever you believe to be true about a person, place, or situation or anything is going to become true. That's the law. The law hinges off the fact that things are constantly changing. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. That's why the principle of, changing the way you look at something, things you look at will change. So pretty much, that's the gist of it. And there's certain laws that can't be changed, like gravity, law of assumption, things constantly changing, things like that. So I'm not talking about something crazy out here, but the stuff I've seen people achieve with just putting their mind to something and unwavering, like they have their desire, they know exactly what it is, they know how they're going to get there, they're developing the idea of who the person they are is going to be in that situation and who they are right now and feeling to that relationship of that their goal or desire. There's always like some kind of development. We're always changing. So even though we want this desire, little things in our life change and we become a different person. But as long as you're staying on that desire, knowing exactly what it is, you know your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to have this certain job? Why do you have this dream? Why do you have this desired relationship? Why do you have any of these things in your life that you're aiming for? There's something in you and builds that desire for it. And through that process, like they said, life happens for us, not to us. And we manifest what we are, not what we want. So when we become the man and the woman that has that desire has no choice but to unfold into our reality, because we're becoming the version of us that has it. Obviously, there's something deficient in us at the moment that does not believe we deserve that, does not feel that we're good enough, that we can't achieve that goal. And we all go through it. That's where self-concept comes in. Self-concept is key, and I talk about it all the time. The more you build up how you see yourself, the more confidence you build. That's why I say many manifestations, like the Bible says, let the weak say I am strong. Doesn't mean a physically weak person is going to be just saying, oh, I'm strong, and then they're going to go in the gym and bench, max out on everything and become the strongest person in the world. No, obviously there's stuff that requires work. But when you're saying I'm strong, what is that? That's an affirmation. I am strong, I am confident, I am bold. You're building your confidence. That's why I say do many manifestations. I talk about the line in the Bible too, where it says, be not only hearers of the word, but doers. I give you guys the techniques I used. I give you what I've learned. Everything that I've ever done and taught is tried and true from my own personal experience. I wouldn't show my face if I didn't believe this stuff worked. I wouldn't tell you to do it if I didn't believe it worked. And I think at this point, you guys know from watching me on the channel, I have a code of ethics that I follow. There's a reason I kept the day job. There's a reason I want to earn more money doing other things, so I don't have to rely on needing people for clients and sitting there and be like, I'm doing this, guys, look at me. Oh, you need this coaching, you need this, and it will get you all your desires. I do believe that there is a benefit to coaching or manifesting partners, but the true essence of all of it is yourself. I don't want to, I love when you guys believe in me and you want to do more sessions and stuff like that and support me. I appreciate it. My goal is to do the bare minimum amount of sessions with you, so that way you learn to stand on your own. That's what this is. There's the old parable of, you teach a man to fish and he'll fish for a lifetime, versus giving him fish. I give you the motivation, I give you the positivity. You feel good, you feel fired up, and you leave. If you can't sustain it on your own, you're always going to need me. And my goal is for you not to need me, to be able to do this on your own. Yeah, it's nice to come to the channel and to be part of the Discord and be part of the community. You're always welcome. I love that. But I want you to be able to stand on your own. And I'm a little bit off topic, but let me try. I wrote some notes to try and keep myself on track because, like I said, I'm doing these lectures now. But it goes down to knowing your why. So when you know why you're doing something, when you know that this goal, this desire, this relationship, whatever you're going for, when you know that's so important to you and why it's important to you, it's not just, oh, because I really want it. No, why? What do you benefit from it? From the best case scenario of this. Even like I said, a lot of people, they're all here for this relationship thing, right? And I wouldn't be teaching if I didn't manifest back something that seemed completely awful and see that people change. Seeing that fucking people who treat you like shit, they change. Not just in a relationship with a romantic relationship, but friendships and work relationships and family relationships. I've seen the stuff change. I know it's possible. I know people change, but what, again, goes back to you. When you change, when you know your why, it's like, I'm willing to change me. What can you control? Going to a Stoic belief, you can't really control anything on the outside. Now, people think, oh, I'm going to use my mind to control it. No, you're changing the way you see things, and the things you see change. That's where the miracles come in. But sometimes the only thing you can engineer in that miracle is how you see things, finding the good in the bad. Having gratitude for things that you do have and things that you know you're going to have. You're tricking your subconscious. I saw somebody the other day make a comment about, not here, but on another place, about like, oh yeah, gratitude. That's an ungrateful motherfucker. Yeah, if I'm grateful, I'll get whatever I want. Why? You want something and I'm just grateful so I can get it. And then I have it. Now I feel good. You have it and you feel good. Okay, life happens for you. So you got to feel it first. It doesn't happen to you. So it's like, oh, this happened. Now I'm grateful. That's life happening to you. You'll be happy when you get something. But being in a feeling state of, I am happy now. I am abundant now. I do have this desire now. That's the signs will come after. The facts will come after you see it and you believe it and you hold it within. That's what Neville told us about. That's what all these great teachers in the beginning have told us about. The great teachers throughout history. Neville has the whole book, Feeling is the Secret. Brings me into like my other point I wanted to make was, you have people come out here and say, well, there's toxic positivity. There's too much positivity. I don't believe that you can be too fucking positive. What is the loss? What is the negative and too positive? It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna look silly. Wow, he's too happy. She's too happy. Oh my God, they're so ridiculous. I don't understand that. I don't understand that the too positive, because if feeling is the secret, and feeling a certain way about a certain thing will create it in your reality, then why are we focused on, oh, they're too positive? You don't want to be too positive. Don't get your hopes up. What is that insinuating? Subconsciously, that is insinuating a failure. You want to be prepared for a failure. Just in case this doesn't work out, you need to be prepared. And yeah, there is a power to accepting, hey, this might not happen. But the power to that is accepting that there are multiple realities. There are multiple lives playing out at once. There's a reality where you don't get this desire, and there's one where you have it. By acknowledging that this one can exist, you give it permission to die off, to be like, okay, cool. That no longer exists. I don't have to worry about trying to stop that reality from happening. Let it go. But I'm choosing to focus on this now. It's like, okay, I'll let that play out in one time track. You're not trying to stop something and create something at the same time. That's creating too much chaos in your mind. You're removing attention from what you don't want. For example, the relationship one is the best when people are talking about a third party. Things that they're manifesting a relationship with somebody and that person's with somebody else, right? Or they left you to go be with somebody else, right? This is the most common thing, and like where people feel like, oh, there's nothing I can do to control it, except that, okay, that person may never take you back. That person may never, remain in a relationship with that person. By acknowledging that could happen and then removing attention from it, it's easier to remove attention. Okay, that could happen. Let it go. I want to focus on this. Because you let that play out and you made peace with it and let it die off, there's now no fight and struggle between, okay, I got to manifest a third party away. You're doing something. You're thinking a certain way to get something to happen. It's like, I'm thinking. Like there's no magical powers coming out. Okay, I've manifested it. No, I am choosing where to put my attention. You cannot control the outside events. You can only control how you think and how you feel. And when you're controlling your thinking and your feeling and you're regulating yourself, you don't have to be positive all day long. That's where people are like, oh, toxically positive. Yeah, okay, I get it. If you're thinking that's toxically positive, I'm saying you want to be as positive as you can all day long, in the feeling of happy all day long. Do I do that? No. It's like you're going to feel negative. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel, we're human beings. We have emotions. We have other emotions. It's regulating them. It's channeling the energy and turning it into something else. So it's like, what do you call it? When I said in the beginning, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It could only be transferred, or whatever the first was it. That's the first law of thermodynamics. Energy can't be created nor destroyed, only change state. And I may be butchering it, but I do know that it was like some of my education in school that I had to learn for what I do. And it's like, okay, if energy can't be created nor destroyed, it's always been the same. It will always be the same. It's just changing states. So when you change the way you look at it, it's like that energy that's anxiety can be channeled into excitement, because anxiety and excitement are very similar. Fear and excitement are very similar. It's you're working yourself up to this state. So you could be afraid this thing is going to happen, or you could be excited it's going to happen. How do you get excited for something you're afraid of? You build the confidence that you could handle whatever's coming your way. How do you build confidence? Many manifestations, seeing that, hey, I thought about this, I visualized it, I affirmed for it, I focused on it, and it played out. And I didn't have to sit there all day robotically affirming, which is a technique and it does work. I've tried it, tested it, and people do get success from it. You could be robotically affirming or whatever, but it's like the fact that you don't need to put that much effort into it. You could just sit there, relax, let it happen, let it play out. It's like, wow, I thought this, I said it was going to happen. I had the boldness to speak it. It was a little thing. Where's the mini, it's on the back of this notebook for my mini manifestation list. Oh, you're going to get this many clients. Boom, got that many clients. Oh, your channel's going to be this successful. Oh, every video is going to do way better than they've done. So you go from when you're vague like that, that's why I say be very specific. Every video is going to do better than it's done. If I'm getting 100 to 200 views a video, now you're getting 700, 800. Power of gratitude says, wow, that's great. And then even take it a step further. Wow, I'm getting all these views per video. I want to see how much more video, not I want to see. You see how many views you're getting per video. You go from 200 to 800 to 1,000. Feel good and be grateful for that. Now feel even more excited. Transmute that energy into, wow, I got 10,000 views. It didn't happen, but you're grateful for it happening. What's the other Bible quote? Be thankful for things. When you pray for things as though they have happened already, they will become true. I'm butchering it again. But basically, when you assume the things, like when you're grateful for things that haven't happened yet, you're assuming they already did. You can't be grateful for something that you don't have. But giving gratitude before it's happened brings it into your reality faster. I'm telling you this because it's a technique I've used and it's worked for me. It's worked for other people. So stop trying to like single yourself out that, yeah, this works forever. Would you have that negative assumption? Oh, I don't want to be toxically positive. So you're just going to shit on yourself and make yourself less than everybody? Nobody is better than anybody in this world. We're all in this together. I'm here to motivate you guys to show you, hey, look, I've done it. It's possible. Here's the receipts. Here's the negative. Here's the positive. Here's everything in between. Here's what to do. Here's what not to do. You got this. That's why I'm here. But when I'm gone, when the channel is off, when the video is done, when the lecture is over, when I'm not on Discord, when the session is over, it's on you. You have to be able to do this. You have to be able to focus on regulating your mind. You have to be able to focus on changing your thoughts, from removing attention from things that you don't want, placing it on things that you do want, remembering that your why drives you, and that no matter how bad anything gets in your life, your why is stronger than that, and you will push through and you will persist. Because when things are negative, that's when it comes into persisting. Things, the opposite appears in your reality. You're manifesting a certain thing to play out a certain way, but you see it's like, oh, it's not playing out that certain way. Well, the end is more valuable than the means, or whatever. The end is more valuable than the bridge, right? You really want that end scene so bad, you don't care what the bridge looks like. You're driving somewhere that you've never driven to before. You don't know what the route looks like. You don't know what the roads look like, and you don't know the places on the map you're going to cross. But as you're driving there and you're looking at the map is your visualization. It's giving you somewhat of an idea of what you're going to see. But the map is a cartoon. When you see it in real life, it might not look the way you visualized, but you had an assumption before you got there. At the end of the day, you still reach your destination. You still reach your goal. But the journey didn't look the same. If you got upset because you looked at that cartoon map and you got somewhere and you realize this doesn't look like how I envisioned it would based off that map, this is horrible, this is not what I was thinking, and you turn around, you will never reach the destination. Or you'll park there and you'll sit there and complain about, I made it this far and this looks like shit, and then you'll live there in that shitty state. Like Neville said, we're in states. States move. We move states. So you're in a state of anger, happiness, fear, excitement, whatever. You're in all these different states, and you're a passenger in a car, as he said, a driver of a car. You're moving from state to state. And when you stay somewhere, that becomes who you are. And moves it to a Tony Robbins point. We all have an emotional home. What is your emotional home? The emotional home is a place where you sit in most often emotionally. For instance, depression. If you're somebody who's very prone to depression and you're focused on and telling everybody, I'm a really depressed person, I have to go to therapy because I'm a depressed person, which I'm not advocating against therapy or anything, just to be clear, but it's like, I have to go do this. And you're like, oh, this is just who I am. I'm working on it. I'm always going to be working on it. If I'm a work in progress, you're identifying with, I'm never going to get better from it. That was my original emotional home when I was younger. It's like, I'm someone who's always depressed. That's just who I am. I'm pessimistic. I'm realistic. I used to say I'm a realistic person, which is realist is a pessimist in disguise who wants to sound smart. I want to sound smart or better or an intelligent person. So I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I just know the reality of things. But then when you start seeing the mystical, the magical of life, that, hey, just changing what I focus on, changing what I feel, reality changes around me. Opportunities present themselves that I would have never thought possible. So why would I focus on anything other than that? Why would I assume that, oh, I'm being too positive? If my home mentally and emotionally is a very positive, happy, abundant, loving one, am I still going to experience or drift in or drive into those other little states or cities? Yeah, that's possible. And I probably will, because I'm a human being and we change emotions and life is always changing. But if I'm able to regulate myself to go back and stay in that dominant one, I might have to go travel for work one day. I might have to travel for a trip one day, whatever. You're going to a different emotional state. You go, for example, I've got a story, and I'll tell this on Muscular Mystic later when we go live over there. On Valentine's Day, when I was with Lily, we got to work out together, which was something I was affirming for. Our schedules don't really line up, and I've got a different set of goals than her, so it's rare that we get to work out. I'm like, we're going to get to work out. We go to this gym and it's like everything's perfect. The day's going exactly the way I want. We woke up a little later than whatever. It's like, but we're still going to be able to make it to the restaurant. We're getting to film here. And it's like, hey, we're going to make this little vlog. It's going to be cool. Manager comes up to me and goes, oh, you know, it's illegal to film people. You know, it's illegal to film in this gym. You could be sued and this and that. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, dude. But it set me off. Now I'm in a state of anger. I'm in upset. But my emotional home is happiness, abundance, gratitude. It's like, what's there to be grateful for? I'm confident enough that you're not going to do nothing. You can't fuck with me. I'm fine, whatever. Me and my girlfriend are going to laugh about this. We're going to enjoy the day anyway. You're not going to, and I'm grateful that I'm in that mindset. I'm grateful that I'm funny. This is an opportunity to work on my comedy material. This guy looks like Humpty Dumpty if he was a person, right? So I'm getting her laughing. We're building a bond more. It's like both being equally mad at something. So you're letting that anger state be there and you let it linger a little bit, but you don't dwell in it. We didn't go about the rest of the day where it's like angry for the rest of the workout. That's it. We're not filming no more. And we didn't go over to go get breakfast after that and remain angry. We stayed in a happy, positive, fun mood. We made jokes, everything. We go to breakfast. And I'll tell the rest of the story later, but it's like some negative stuff happens there to us. And it's like, but you don't dwell in it. You don't sit there and say, well, this isn't working because of blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, you could feel like, oh, breakfast, there was a little bit of a disappointment. The gym, there was some anger. There was some fear driving through a snowstorm to get to the dinner date. All these other states popped up, but you deal with them for the time you need to deal with them, and you go back to where you are, happy, abundant, fulfilled, and loved. That's where I want to stay. That is my home. That is what I identify with. But can I see other things that make me feel a certain way? Yeah, you're just traveling there and coming back. You're living in one state. You can't live in two different places. I mean, I guess you could have two different residents, but you're going to stay at one more than another. I have three places I stay between. Here, my parents, and my girlfriend's house. Does that mean that I live at one more than the other? Exactly. That's what it is. I stay here more than anywhere else. But doesn't mean that I could spend a prolonged period of time somewhere else, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. I got way off topic, but it's like I wanted to address all those points. I wanted to talk about everything's working out in your favor, to show you that everything's working out in your favor, because sometimes those negative, horrible things that you don't want to experience and you're mad at and you feel like this is the end of the world, this is fucking up my manifestation, this is fucking up my life. When you look back at it later, it turns out to be the greatest thing for you. It's helping you manifest something that you didn't even know you needed. Because like I said, life happens for you, not to you, and you manifest what you are. Well, you're trying to manifest, let's say, a relationship, and you deem that relationship needs you to be a more masculine man or whatever. Well, I'm going to use this as an example that I dealt with and that I was working with somebody on. Okay, you think this relationship needs you to step up, be more like for instance, my relationships was with somebody older than me. So there was, oh, you know what? I don't have as much life experience, this and that. Opportunities in my life to step up that had nothing to do with her or that relationship popped up where I had to grow up, stop feeling like a kid. And you won't be mad at those circumstances. In the moment, those circumstances invoke anger and move your emotional home around and make you travel around in your emotions, feel angry, upset, fearful, whatever. Those opportunities came up. But then you got to remember, going to the end. The end might be me visualizing a happy relationship, but insinuated in that is I'm also the man who conquered all these other things. So I finish off these little mini battles, the side quests of life, right? And I've become a far stronger and more successful man. I was afraid to go back to comedy for a while, or afraid to make fitness videos for a while. But then I come over here and do mystic videos where I'm really like putting myself out there. I'm really airing out everything about my life. And it's like, wow, that makes most people uncomfortable. If I can do that, I could go back to all this other stuff, no matter if I failed or how bad those things turned out. And then when I would go back and I would test them out, it's like, damn, there's some more success there. More people support me. And it's like I'm taking the feelings I have here and applying them there. That's moving the energy around. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, energy, that's law of attraction. It's a term that I'm using. It's not, oh, I'm just thinking I'm moving my energy and my chakras and this and that. No, I'm telling you that you're transmuting that energy. What could be used as confidence here can be used as confidence there. You're taking confidence, you're borrowing it, and you're moving it to a place of insecurity and building confidence there. So that's what I'm saying. But again, anything's possible. And there's a lot of people out there, certain coaches and stuff are going to say, there's mistakes that can be made. There's fuck ups that could happen. There's, there's too much positivity. There's all that shit that somebody can say. That's limiting beliefs. I don't identify with limiting beliefs. I identify with limitlessness. Do I have everything I want? No, but I feel abundant. And part of it is like I said, knowing exactly what you want. For me personally, and a lot of people who I talk to and work with, it's like a lot of people, they just want that relationship. Eventually, you're going to want more in life. And for me, it's like, yeah, I want more. It's like, well, what's your goal right now? It's like, well, I want to be this, this, and this. Some of the stuff you ask for or you want, it's just you're feeling that want and that desire because you feel like it's what you're supposed to want. This is something that you don't really think about much, but it was something I realized later on down the road. You want this thing because you feel like it's what you're supposed to want. It's a pressure from a family or society or like an old version of yourself that you've elevated past wants that certain thing. Like to be infinitely wealthy beyond all measure and stuff like that, like multi-billionaire, more money than I ever need, was a desire I wanted when I was a kid, just seeing like how I grew up and stuff like that. Now it's like I've got the money to travel, to do whatever I want, to live the life that I want. Could I use more to more fully live that life? Yeah, but it's not a dying urge to do it right now. What's more exciting to me is building a bigger body and getting more shredded up and doing a bodybuilding competition. Could the money come from there? Yeah, but that end mean could be like, oh, now you got a sponsorship and your clothing line's taken off and things are successful, and like now that gets built up. It's a desire, but not one that's a burning. And like that's why Neville always said, go for one thing at a time, but doesn't mean that you can't manifest multiple things at once. In fact, I semi disagree with him there because sometimes when you're so wrapped up in one particular thing, you could be working against yourself. You're overthinking a certain manifestation or thing that you're trying to manifest into reality. For instance, you want your dream job, and that's the only thing you care about. You're focused on the job, and it's like you're more wrapped up in I want to go to this new job, but it's like I want to get away from the old job. You're more wrapped up in wanting to get away from the old job, but if it's like if you could just remove attention from that and focus on the thing that you do want, it doesn't require much. Manifestation is effortless, but it is also a big contradiction. The more effort you put in, sometimes gives you less results. Sometimes less is more. A lot of times less is more. So knowing exactly what you want and being confident that you can achieve that, that's where the mini manifestations, building up your self-concept, feeling worthy of stuff that you want, those things come in handy. So it's like, okay, I want to leave this job and go to this perfect job over here, which was something I did. I had to remove attention. At the same time, I'm doing an SP manifestation, trying to get this specific person in this specific relationship. And then that felt impossible at times. Being able to switch my thoughts from, okay, here's the relationship I want and I feel ideal. And then I go back to thinking about, I really hate this job. No, here's the ideal job. And then, oh, I want to make some more money too. And then opportunities to make money on side jobs and stuff like that pop up. It's like, whoa, wow, there's that. And I also want to get in better shape. Now it's like, oh, look, this is a cool new gym that you could sign up at. And actually, I wound up on a family plan for someone's gym membership, and it gave me a new gym membership that re-sparked up my motivation. So it's like focused on the body, and then, oh, the ideal, you're so tired because you're focused on so many things. You don't have time to think of the negative. It's just like, I feel relaxing in laying down with my specific person, even though we're not together or nothing's working out. We're together, and I'm feeling good, and we're resting together because I'm tired. My thought process is I'm resting. But it's easier just to jump to we're resting together than trying to unravel all that other stuff because my mind is drained from focused on all these other things and just putting enough effort into them to make them unfold, if that makes sense. Like I said, I wish I could take the comments, but if you're just tuning in, I can't see the comment box for some reason. So maybe it's because the computer needs an update or something like that. I don't know. But I'm going to go live on Muscular Mystic after this so you guys can ask questions there as well. But I'm coming to the end of the lecture, wrapping it up. Was the other note? I had all the notes, but I've kind of hit all the points already before I've even got to them. Like I just kind of wrote down things I wanted to remember. A change. Again, I want to touch on this. I brought some examples I wrote down that I've been thinking about this week when I talk about change the way you look at things and the things you look at change, right? I've repeated that numerous times during this, but it cannot be understated. And it ties in with gratitude. So I'll talk about here in Chicago. The weather sucks ass. Like it is fucking horrible for weeks. Now, 3 weeks ago or so, we were like -13 at a low. Everything's freezing for over a week and a half or whatever. But then after that, we pop up to the 20 degrees. We haven't really been over 20 degrees, maybe 30. 20 and 30 degrees feel like summertime. But before we dropped into those negatives, 20, 30 degrees felt like hell until you find out hell could be a lot worse than what it is. And you're creating hell on earth or heaven on earth. So if you're focused on this is the worst thing and you keep focusing on it, I bet it, like you look at the 20 degrees and it's like, yeah, and I bet it goes lower. Fuck it, throw snow on top of it. Just enough snow to shit things up. As my dad used to say, it's like when you get that little bit of snow that's like not too much, not too little, and the plows don't go through it, and you got to drive 10 miles an hour. That happened on Valentine's Day to me. It's like you think about, oh, this is just enough to shit it up, and I'm sure that it's going to get even worse. And then on top of that, the freeze always comes after it, and then you're thinking about all these negative things that happened. A few weeks ago, you think, or a couple months ago, you think back before, it's like you're in the 60s and 70s in the weather, and it's like, man, this sucks because we just had 80s, 90s, and it was summertime, and now it's dropping, and you're expecting it to get worse. Now, granted, this is the seasons, and the seasons are the way they are. Maybe that's a limit on manifestation, but I always feel like we're never going to get any snow. It's February, and we got probably this is our first snow, and after this, I don't see much else happening. Maybe there's my manifestation, but my point is, when you change the way you look at things, it's like I was excited when I saw the 20-degree day, but 20-degree day was bullshit before. But I'm happy for that. And I know on the other side of that, within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we'll be in the 40s and 50s. And in fall time, 40s and 50s were shit. Springtime, they're good because you know what comes after them. So no matter how dark the night gets or how cold the winter is, you know that there's an end to that. You know that the weather is going to change. You know that your luck is going to turn around. You know that when you change your focus and the way you see things, the things are going to change. You're giving gratitude for what you do have. Being grateful at negative 13 is very hard to do, but you could be negative 20. And I don't know. I think negative 20 may have been the lowest I've ever seen. I don't know, but I know we were pretty low. But somebody else out there has it worse. And remembering that, not wishing bad on them or anything, but realizing that somebody wishes they are where you are. Again, in the gym, it's like you go to the gym and you're not feeling very confident. There's somebody in there for the first day one, being overweight, nervous to be in there, wishing they had your body. But you're looking at Mr. Olympia over there saying, God damn, I wish that was me. Like, I look like shit. Imagine the person who's there. Then there's a guy on a couch who sees his friend come back from the gym who's still overweight and sees him and goes, man, I admire him and I wish I was him. There's always going to be like somebody else doing something a little bit better. The only thing you can focus on is yourself, feeling that, hey, you know what? That guy sees me and says, well, I want to look like him. I see Mr. Olympia. I want to look like him. Instead of feeling negative, it's like, I'm grateful that I'm here because I have to start here before I get there. I'm grateful today that the weather, I woke up this morning and had to move a car. It was 3 degrees. When I went back out there, it was 9 degrees. It felt like a major difference. I saw the 9 before I went out there. I'm like, it's going to be way warmer. I wore a light jacket. And it's like, wow, I'm fine. I'm good to go. 9 degrees, that's hot. 9 degrees is not hot at all. 9 degrees sucks ass. But it felt hot because I changed the way I saw it. It changed the way I experienced it. And it's like the same thing when it comes to the gym or diet or anything like that. When I was training for the bodybuilding show, and it's like, okay, I got to cut as much weight as I can and try to maintain muscle and eat and proportion everything out the right way by the time the show comes. I got to get there in 7 weeks. There's no time to fuck around. It ends right here, right now. You make the decision. Same thing with a mental diet. That's the physical diet. The mental diet is, here's my negative thoughts. I know that they're not great right now. I have to make that change. The first week or two is uncomfortable as fuck in a physical diet. Same thing with a mental diet. It is uncomfortable as fuck to change the way you think, just like it is the way you eat. But you make it a week, you feel pretty good. Second week, you start getting tested. By week 3, you're pretty good. You're on a roll. You do it for a month. Like I said, I finished after 7 weeks. My mom and girlfriend want to treat me after the show to go out and eat. I didn't want to eat. My stomach was shrank up. I had changed who I was. I do not identify with eating a lot of food like that and shit like I was doing, or just being a glutton at every meal. Now look at me 8 months later. I think it's about 8 months later. I mean, I went and made a quadruple hamburger on Valentine's, and I had a big breakfast and appetizers and stuff like that because I broke through that. It took a couple of weeks, a week or two to break through it and go back into that negative dietary lifestyle versus you could be in that very positive lifestyle of eating eating healthy, and it becomes very hard to switch to unhealthy. But once you break that habit, you're in a new habit. Same thing with mental diet. You're naturally, like I said, the emotional homes. You're a naturally positive person. It is very hard to get yourself into thinking negatively. You do it enough times, it becomes second nature. You're good to go. Just relax and let it go. Let it go and let it flow. You'll be on that negative mindset like nothing. But the good thing is, life is always changing. You're always changing, and you're in control of who you are and what you want to experience. You can switch it up and say, "Nah, I'm going to be this guy again." And there will be an uncomfortable transition period, but eventually you will slip into and become that character that you want to be. And I'm not saying character like some negative connotation with it, where it's like, oh, I'm just playing a role. No, you actually are becoming that person. We are method actors of the character we want to be in life. You want to be a happy, positive person. It's simply studying and understanding what a happy, positive person is and what it means to you and how you would feel if you were that person, and taking actionable steps that you can, not being too attached to the things that you can't control, and enjoying every day and being grateful every day in the process. You're changing who you are, and life around you is changing. People tell me this. This is like my goal when I'm coaching with people. They tell me it's like, they might not have the goal right away, but life around them changes. Wow, people are treating me with more respect. I'm feeling more confident. I've been going to the gym more. I've done better in school than I was doing before. I'm doing better at work. I got promoted. I'm starting my business now. My business is doing well now. Like, people are changing, but all they did was just change who they are, how they felt. They changed the way they walk. They changed the way that they talk, how they dress, things like that. Those are actionable steps that make you feel more confident and happy in who you are. So that's my goal at the end of the day. Is like, yes, we have a target goal. You want to manifest this relationship, this job, this business, whatever. I already know what we're going in there for, but it's not just that one thing. Your life is not dictated by just, I need this and I'll be happy. No, you need to be happy now. And whatever people want to say, oh, this fucking toxically positive, well, I'm the wrong guy for you, because I'm telling you, no matter what you slip into or how you feel, pulling yourself back to there, the worst case side effect of this is that you're happy in life and you're content with where you are and you don't care if anything changes. That is the worst case. But I'm also going to give you another spoiler. Things do change. They don't stay the same. Again, like I said, that other principle, things are always changing. So just because you're in that state doesn't mean that just because you changed your mindset and you're like, oh, I'm fine and content with just staying here, doesn't mean you're going to stay there. You're in that state where people are going to treat you differently, and it's a good, positive way, and you're going to have that reflected to you. And if things reflect the opposite at times, you're going to be so confident and self-conscious, or not self-conscious, you're going to be so confident and secure in yourself that it bounces right off you. It doesn't bother you. No matter what people say, it doesn't bother you. You don't get rattled. You're just a happy individual, a loving individual who's not rattled by anything. And you do get the life you want. You do get your dreams and your desires. And you know that they happen in the right time. So that's my little bit of a spiel about things I heard. This is my lecture. Like I said, I really wish I could see your comments right now. Hopefully we can at Muscular Mystic. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Make sure I covered everything I wanted to. I'm pretty sure that covers up most of my lecture I wanted to do. If you want coaching, it's not going to be in this video yet because I got to put it on the bio. I should have did that before. But if you guys want, coaching will be down below. You know how to find me, email me, whatever. If you want to join the Discord, that's $7.50 a month if you're interested in it. If not, no big deal. Just a positive, like-minded group of people where we just lift each other up. Next thing, if you want to check out Muscular Mystic, check out that channel. That's my other channel. It's got fitness stuff. I'm posting a vlog today I did with Lily. What else? I'm going to go live over there next. That's like a lot of fitness-related stuff with a lot of manifesting as well, because that's who I am. That's what I live. That's my emotional state. My emotional home is positive and manifesting and building up your life and building up who you are, elevating your life. So if you want to take a look over there, I'll be over there in a couple minutes after this. If not, you have a great week, a great Monday. If I got some videos, I'll put them out. I always say I'm going to make them, and then I don't. I feel like I don't like really repeating myself. I know people are like, oh, give us the same positive video again and again. I don't mind doing it, but it's like something I want, instead of just consuming the next video and the next video and the next video, watch and listen and understand the videos I've already put out. I'm very confident in the stuff I put out when I put it out. Even if it's you see me going through something negative, what lesson, what can you study on that video and learn from there that you can apply to not be like me or to be like me, depending on whatever you see in that video that you need to take from it. And then move forward with how you're going to change your life and apply the stuff that you've learned. And if it's not me, it's another coach, whatever. You learn from that person, and you learn, okay, here's how I would do it. Here's what I would apply. Here's how this makes me feel. You become that person. You custom tailor life. It's like nobody is ever going to be, oh, I just only read Neville and that's it. No, it's like, look at me. It's like, there's stuff from, Robert Zink has like Law of Attraction Solutions, right? I like him. I like his attitude. I like his vibe and stuff like that. Do I agree with all the crystals and gems and stuff like that? For me personally, no, but people have derived. Have I tried it? And it didn't work for me. Yeah. Because I didn't ever believe it. I didn't have an attachment to it. But certain people, they feel it's going to work for them. And they already have that assumption. If I do this, I'll get this. Manifesting is that simple at times. It's the faith you put into stuff. So it's like whatever you could take. It's like, I took stuff that I understood from him that worked for me. I took stuff from people who are very religious and like of certain religions. It's like I took, okay, does that work for me? I identify with this. This makes me feel that successful. I feel like that's going to work for me. And then I've built who I am. And you're not probably going to take everything from me. But what you can take from me and you can learn, you can apply that into the character you're building. Is what I learned from my mentor when I was younger. He took from all these different people things that he admired, and he built who he was off that. His core essence mixed with those elements, put it together, and I'm not talking essence and vibrations and shit like that, but you know what I mean. And he built who he was. And he saw I was doing the same thing. He was like, that's exactly what you need to do, and I'm telling you the same thing. It helps you be a unique individual. It helps you build who you are and find a way that will work for you in this life. So with that, if I don't see you in any videos, I won't see you, but you'll see me. If you don't see me in a video, I'll be back next Monday. If you want to see more of me today, I'll be on Muscular Mystic. If you want to see more of me this week, for sure, you can book a session, but you don't need it. I always tell you that. And with that, since I can't say goodbye or see who's on here, love you guys very much, and I'll see you next Monday. See ya.